homeless person the other day. He told me his name was God Body. And then he told me that I had God inside him, which was confusing. So I wasn't going to talk about this, but then I found out about 2 hours ago that my mom is here from New Jersey. So this feels like as good a time as any. She has no idea, but 3 weeks ago I tried acid for the first time. As I expected to. It was great because I did it. I was in the desert and she called me and she said, not when I was on accident. She called me the next day and she was like, I heard you went to Joshua Tree. Your father told me they do drugs there. And I said, oh mom, to throw her off the trail. She's a detective, so she stayed with it. And she said, did you do drugs? And I said, Mom, are you asking if I did drugs? Which is the most obvious yes. You can go, if a police officer was interrogating a terrorist and was like, did you blow up that building? And the terrorist was like, are you asking if I blew up that building? They'd be like, yeah, you fucking did it. But she stayed with it. She said, did you do drugs? And I said, I smoked weed, which is true, because that's how I came down from the acid. Oh, Mom, I love you so much. I think my favorite part about doing acid... Let's lean in. I think my favorite part about doing acid was waking up the next morning and seeing a group of Boy Scouts in the camp next to me. And they were in uniform, so they weren't like fucking around Boy Scouts. They were like there to tie knots and get badges. And there's no way they were expecting the one-man laser light show. My friend David does drugs more than me, and he brought a laser pointer, which if you're gonna do acid, whoa. If you're in the desert and you point a laser pointer at the sky, you don't see it ending, and that is 5 hours of thought. Before doing acid, I had never used the word interstellar before. But I used it for the first through 100th time. In my life. I had just seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I highly suggest you do something like that because all of my fantasies were so grounded in a very real reality. Because the stars were moving and I was like, Star-Lord, fucking shit up. It was absolutely... I feel bad saying this because, there's no children in the audience, but if a kid talked to me and they're like, should I do acid? I'd be like, once. Oh, man. Like, don't do it unless you think it'll be fun, because then it will. But if you don't think it'll be fun, have your friends smoke weed and tell you it'll be fun when you start thinking it won't be fun, and it'll be fun. Doing acid, I feel bad. I was raised to not do drugs, which was probably very apparent. We talked about this earlier. And I feel like, the DARE program just totally failed. They were like, don't do drugs. And we're like, I guess I won't do drugs. And then someone's like, hey, if you do drugs, you'll have fun. And you're like, no one told me that. No one mentioned the fun part in school. Oh, man. I'm already so excited for when my mom texts me tomorrow a WebMD article and says, it puts a hole in your brain. Because I'm going to be like, it can match the holes in my heart. Zing! This is is a fun time. Let's talk about other stuff that's also really fun for my mom to hear. So I'm depressed because I'm also alive. And tonight I want to mention a moment in my life that was like the worst moment of my life, but also kind of like the best. It's one of those moments when you're in it, you're like, I think God hates me. But at the same time, you're like, maybe he's just a prankster. It's like if you were at a funeral and a monkey showed up playing a trombone. You'd be like, I miss Grandma, but that's pretty neat. A monkey is a classically trained amateur. Well done, God. I guess the Saints will go marching in. I was always taught to kind of keep my emotions tucked away in my belly and never talk about. When I was a little kid, I used to cry a lot, and my parents didn't know what to do, so they nicknamed me Johnny Drama, which is a real fun parenting technique. Yeah. It's fun because one parent goes, I think our kid has a problem, and the other one goes, cool, let's shit on him. I love my parents, but I'm afraid if I was joking, they'd be like, oh no, quick, somebody, punch him in the dick! Did you get that on camera? I grew up in New Jersey, which is a place where we take all of our emotions and we put them in one pizza. And then we gather around that pizza and call it a little bitch. New Jersey's a fun place to be a kid. It's funny because even as a little boy, you have to pretend like you're tough, which is hilarious because all boys under 12 kind of sound like Mickey Mouse. So New Jersey's just a bunch of under 12-year-old boys who are like, oh, I don't give a fuck! My friends and I, we used to say this really loving phrase to each other all the time, more than any other phrase. It was, do it, you won't, pussy. And it's perfect because it sounds really mean, but in context, it was always very supportive. We just didn't know how to connect. We'd say things like, ask her out, do it, you won't, pussy. Come on, she'd be lucky to have you, you fuckface. I just wish you'd believe in yourself the way I believe in you, you pussy-ass bitch. That's how we made fun of each other. We just said 2 body parts and bitch. We were just like, look at that nose-ass bitch. And everyone was like, he does have those parts. When I was a young boy, male friendships always felt kind of like kissing your uncle on the cheek. Oh, just go with me on this. Yeah, because you're connecting with someone, but you're like, I hate this. Snaps for kissing our uncles on the cheek. Oh man, being emotional, it was fun. I had some, I love my dad, but it definitely made a little bit of a divide between us because my dad is classically emotional, but he's not emotional, he's classically masculine in that his beard can't, he can grow the connectors, but his heart can't. He's a sweet, oh, I love Dad, Mom, you know. You know I love Dad. We're different. We're different. We're different. We're different. My dad, when I was a little kid, he would say things like, you should play baseball. And I would say things like, do you think birds get sad? My dad could throw a baseball with the confidence of a pitcher, where I could skip a stone with the confidence that even though we graduate in a week, I know we're going to be friends for life. My dad could talk to people really easily, and I could stare at my reflection in small pools of water and whisper to myself, one day they'll see, you'll be a star! Oh man, last thing, and then I'll go. People always ask what it's like to be depressed, and I always tell them it's like your brain is constantly a star of a musical theater production. Yeah, so connected. And so I handle stress with the same intensity that the lead in a musical has when they're singing a song that they believe in so much that they have to speak the last word. So my brain is just like, I'm coming home all the time.